Unexpected provision is coming in December, arriving from places you never imagined, because this is the month when the unseen hand of God begins to move in ways that defy human logic. Provision does not always come wrapped in the package you expect, nor does it always arrive from the sources you predict. Sometimes it flows from unexpected people, unexpected calls, unexpected decisions, and unexpected moments that shift everything in your favor. December carries a different kind of grace, the kind that brings answers you prayed for months ago, and the kind that brings blessings you didn't even know you needed. When God says provision is coming, it means something has already been released in the spiritual realm, and it is now on its way toward your life. Unexpected provision means that God is not limited by your salary, your connections, your plans, or your bank account. He can bypass the systems that failed you, the opportunities that ignored you, and the paths that closed on you. When He sends provision, He does not consult your circumstances, He consults His promise. And December is the month where long-standing prayers begin to break through barriers, and long-stuck situations begin to loosen their grip. You may not understand how, but you will witness what happens when divine supply overrides earthly limitation. Unexpected provision means someone is thinking about you that you are not even aware of. Someone is remembering your name. Someone is preparing a blessing. Someone is moving toward you with favor you did not ask them for. God can stir the hearts of people you never met, influence decisions you never heard about, and place you on the mind of someone who carries the answer you need. December becomes the month where hidden helpers emerge, silent supporters appear, and forgotten seeds suddenly bloom. Unexpected provision means a door you thought was dead can suddenly come alive. Opportunities that were closed can reopen. Emails that were ignored can suddenly receive replies. And decisions that were delayed can be reversed. When God moves, He does not need time. He needs timing. And December carries divine timing that cannot be resisted. Sometimes provision comes softly, and sometimes it comes suddenly, but no matter how it arrives, it always arrives right on time. Unexpected provision means bets can be lifted, bills can be cleared, burdens can be eased, and responsibilities that felt heavy all year can be handled in ways you never anticipated. Where you saw pressure, God saw opportunity. Where you felt overwhelmed, God saw a moment for breakthrough. And this December is marked as a month where financial strain begins to loosen, where resources begin to flow, and where the weight of scarcity begins to decline. Provision is not just money. Sometimes it is help, wisdom, favor, ideas, strength, or open doors. Unexpected provision means God will answer prayers you stopped praying because you were too tired to continue. There are requests you made with tears, whispers you offered in frustration, desires you buried because they felt too heavy. But in December, those forgotten prayers rise again, because God never forgot what you asked Him for. Even when you moved on, He didn't. He held your prayer until the right month, the right atmosphere, and the right season. December is that season. Unexpected provision means you will not finish the year the same way you spent the year. You may have started with struggle, but you will not end with defeat. You may have walked through lack, but you will not exit the year empty-handed. December has the power to shift the conclusion of your story, to rewrite the final chapter, and to replace disappointment with divine provision that arrives when you least expect it but need it the most. Unexpected provision means God is working behind the scenes in ways your eyes cannot see. While you sleep, He is moving. While you worry, He is preparing. While you wait, He is arranging. December. Miracles are often invisible until they appear suddenly. But just because you don't see movement doesn't mean movement isn't happening. Provision often grows in silence before it breaks into your reality. Unexpected provision means the pressure you have felt all year is not wasted. Every trial sharpened your faith. Every setback built your resilience. Every delay prepared the timing. God never wastes pain, and He never wastes patience. He uses them to create openings for provision to flow. December is the month where everything you endured begins to make sense, because the provision arriving will carry the weight of every tear and every prayer poured out along the way. Unexpected provision means you must stay open, alert, and ready. It will come in ways that surprise you, ways that stretch you, ways that overwhelm you, and ways that affirm that you were never forgotten. Provision is already moving toward you. And December is simply the month where it becomes visible that divine alignment will take shape in December as God begins to position every part of your life in ways that make sense only in hindsight. Alignment is not accidental. It is intentional, precise, and deeply spiritual. All year long, you may have felt misaligned, confused, or unsure why certain things happened, why certain people left, or why certain opportunities didn't unfold. But December carries a unique grace where scattered pieces begin to fall into place. What looked disconnected starts forming a pattern, and what felt like chaos begins to reveal hidden order. Alignment is God's way of saying that nothing was wasted, and every step, even the painful ones, were leading you somewhere. Divine alignment means God will begin shifting your relationships. People who cannot go with you into your next season will quietly drift away, while the people assigned to your breakthrough will begin to appear. You may find unexpected connections forming, doors opening through new relationships or old contacts, returning with renewed purpose. Alignment is not only about placing you in the right position, it's about placing the right people around you. December becomes a month of spiritual rearrangement where God brings those who carry your answers and removes those who drain your strength. Divine alignment means God will synchronize your steps with opportunities that match your destiny. You may find yourself at the right place at the right time, receiving information you needed, discovering paths you overlooked, or recognizing doors that were always there but invisible until now. Alignment is when timing meets purpose, when preparation meets opportunity, and when your steps begin to echo with intentionality. In December, delays become direction, and obstacles become redirections, guiding you closer to where you were meant to be. Divine alignment also means clarity will begin to flow where confusion once lived. Throughout the year, you might have questioned your decisions, doubted your path, or felt lost in cycles of uncertainty. But December carries a clarity that settles the storm inside your mind. Ideas become sharper, desires become clear, and your inner compass becomes steady again. Alignment brings mental peace because your spirit finally recognizes that it is walking the right path. Divine alignment means resources will begin to match your needs. Instead of struggling to make things work, doors will open that relieve the pressure. Provisions will arrive in sync with your responsibilities. Help will come right when you need it. Alignment is not just spiritual, it is practical. It shows up in your finances, your work, your decisions, and your ability to carry what's being entrusted to you. December becomes a month where what you have finally matches what you must do. Divine alignment means your gifts, talents, and abilities will begin to operate at higher levels. You will feel strength in areas where you once felt weakness, creativity in areas where you once felt stuck, and confidence in areas where you once felt uncertain. Alignment activates what God placed inside you, causing skills to sharpen, ideas to flow, and boldness to rise. December is the month when your potential wakes up and your spirit begins to recognize its own power. Divine alignment means old battles will no longer distract you. What drained your energy before will lose its influence. What kept pulling you backwards will lose its grip. Alignment shifts your focus because it shifts your environment. December becomes a separating month where what belongs with you stays and what was never meant for you fades. This creates the space needed for new blessings, new opportunities, and new direction to enter your life without resistance. Divine alignment means your peace will return. Peace is the evidence that you are aligned with God's timing. When you are aligned, you stop fighting battles that aren't yours. You stop forcing doors that were never meant for you. You stop carrying people who were never assigned to your journey. In December, peace becomes your confirmation that God's hand is guiding your steps. Peace settles where alignment has occurred. Divine alignment means the desires of your heart will begin to mirror the will of God for your life. What you long for will shift, refine, and purify. You may lose desire for things that once consumed you and gain desire for things that pull you into purpose. Alignment shapes your appetite. It directs your passion. It focuses your ambition. December becomes the month where your heart and heaven begin to agree. Divine alignment means you must stay sensitive, alert, and willing to move when God moves. Alignment requires flexibility, obedience, and openness to change. The shifts may not always be comfortable, but they will always be purposeful. December is the month where alignment begins, and the steps you take will prepare you for everything waiting on the other side of this season. God is preparing moments December that will feel like sudden realignments, moments where everything that was once scattered begins to find its rightful place. And you will sense a divine order settling over areas that felt chaotic for months. As if an unseen hand has been quietly putting the pieces together. There will be realignments in relationships, where people who were draining your energy fall away. And people who carry purpose, encouragement and clarity come closer without you forcing anything. You may notice certain doors closing quickly, and instead of feeling afraid, something in your spirit will whisper, this needed to happen, because now you can finally walk toward what is meant for you. These divine realignments will not require begging, pleasing, or chasing, because what is assigned to you will find its way to you with ease. Like two puzzle pieces that finally lock into place after seasons of trying. To force the wrong match, you will feel things shifting in your mindset, where confusion starts to clear, and thoughts that were heavy for so long suddenly begin to lighten, as if someone lifted a weight off your chest. Even in the silence, you will sense that December carries a different energy, a cleaner atmosphere, a sense of preparation, and spiritual alignment that makes you think differently, choose differently, and expect differently. You may feel pushed to let go of old routines, old fears, and old limitations, not because someone told you to, but because your spirit starts to reject what no longer matches your future. This month will bring clarity in decisions you once struggled with, and answers will come naturally. Like water flowing through a once blocked stream, you may find yourself rediscovering parts of your identity that you forgot, strengths you buried, confidence you abandoned, and dreams you left behind, because this alignment is not only external, it is internal and deeply personal. You will feel a new motivation, a new fire, a new readiness, as if the fog that followed you for months begins to dissolve in a single moment of realization. December will remind you who you are, what you carry, and why you survived the earlier battles of this year. You will begin to view setbacks differently, not as curses, but as divine redirection. That brought you to a place where you can finally receive what is meant for you. There will be realignments in your finances, where unexpected sources begin to open up, and opportunities that once ignored you suddenly begin to notice you. Your efforts will start to produce results that finally match the work you've been putting in, because divine timing is catching up with your obedience. There may be unexpected favors, delayed payments being released, or new channels of income that come without struggle, because December carries a grace that accelerates what was stuck. What you lost financially earlier in the year will begin to return in ways you didn't anticipate, because this alignment is also restoration. Relationships that have purpose will strengthen, and those that drain your spirit will lose their hold without any dramatic conflict, because God is cleansing your space. You may find peace with things you once argued about, and closure in areas where you had none, giving you emotional space to welcome better connection. This alignment will bring people into your life who speak life, not confusion, who encourage growth, not limitation, and who push you forward instead of pulling you back. You will recognize these connections instantly, because your spirit will feel lighter around them. You will notice that the environment around you starts to shift in your favor, and even the atmosphere of your home may begin to feel different, more peaceful, more hopeful, and more expectant. The heaviness that followed you for months will slowly evaporate as clarity enters your space, like a fresh wind moving through a window left open. You may suddenly feel the urge to clean, rearrange, or refresh your surroundings, because your outer atmosphere begins to reflect the inner realignment happening inside you. December will bring moments that feel like breathing again after holding your breath for too long. There will be divine realignments in timing, where things that were once delayed begin to move quickly, and decisions that were stuck for months will start progressing without resistance. Opportunities that were once closed may reopen, and people who overlooked you may suddenly call you back. You will feel a sense of acceleration, as if time itself is cooperating with your purpose. What once took months may take days, and what once required effort may now unfold naturally. Even your prayers will start to feel different, more focused, and more powerful, as if your spirit is finally tuned to the right frequency. Answers will come more quickly, and you will sense guidance in ways you didn't before. Dreams, signs, impressions, and sudden moments of clarity that give you direction without confusion. December will teach you to trust that alignment is not forced, It is received through surrender. You will begin to walk with more confidence, not because everything is perfect, but because you can feel divine order settling into place. You will begin to realize that every disappointment, delay, and detour you encountered earlier this year was preparing you for this very month of alignment. Nothing was wasted, not even the tears, not even the confusion, because all of it shaped you into someone who can now handle what is coming. The things that once made you question everything will now make you grateful, because you will see how perfectly everything fits into place when God arranges it. The realignment will bring peace to your heart, strength to your spirit, direction to your steps. December will not just shift things around you, it will shift things within you, giving you a new awareness of your purpose, a new understanding of your journey, and a new confidence in the path ahead. You will step into moments that feel divinely timed, conversations that open doors, decisions that elevate you, and opportunities that remind you that alignment is a sign that you are being positioned for something greater than what you lost, greater than what you feared, and greater than what you imagined. There will be a shift in December where long-standing burdens you carried alone will begin to lift in ways that even you cannot explain, as if invisible hands are taking the weight off your shoulders one layer at a time. You will notice that situations that once felt overwhelming suddenly become manageable, and problems that used to consume your thoughts lose their power over your emotions. The heaviness that once sat on your heart like a stone will start to dissolve, not because everything is perfect, but because divine relief is entering your atmosphere and gently breaking the pressure you grew used to carrying. You may even realize that some of the battles you fought were never meant for you to win through strength, but through surrender you will begin to see breakthroughs in areas of your life where you once felt stuck, places where progress seemed impossible and hope felt distant. Something in the spiritual realm will shift, releasing the tension that has been blocking your forward movement. Opportunities may appear out of nowhere, conversations may open unexpected doors, and solutions may present themselves without the struggle you anticipated. This relief will feel like exhaling after holding your breath for too long, because December will be a month where things finally begin to move again. You will notice emotional relief as well, where old wounds begin to lose their sting, and memories that once hurt begin to fade into a softer place. You may wake up one morning and realize you don't feel the same sadness, fear, or anxiety that used to follow you day after day. December will gently remove emotional burdens that have been weighing down your mind and draining your strength, giving you the freedom to think clearly and feel lighter. Moments that once triggered pain will no longer have the same power over you, because healing is final. Catching up with your soul, financial relief will also begin to enter your life. Not necessarily in dramatic ways at first, but through small signs that the pressure is lifting, payment being cleared, unexpected support appearing, or opportunities providing better stability. You may receive news that eases your financial anxiety, or you may see progress in situations that were previously delayed or blocked. December carries a grace that begins to loosen the chains that kept you financially stressed, and you will feel the first signs of recovery entering your circumstances. This relief will remind you that struggle was never meant to be your permanent state. There will be clarity where confusion once controlled you. And this alone will feel like a blessing, because confusion has been one of the heaviest burdens you carry. Decisions you postponed for months will begin to make sense, and directions you were unsure about will suddenly become clear. You will sense guidance in small, quiet moments, and this inner clarity will remove the pressure of constantly second-guessing yourself. December will allow you to think from a place of peace instead of panic, from wisdom instead of fear. Even your relationships will experience relief as misunderstandings begin to resolve and unnecessary conflicts begin to fade. The conversations that once felt tense will become softer, and people who truly value you will take steps toward reconciliation, peace, or understanding. Those who caused chaos or drained your emotional energy will naturally begin to distance themselves, creating space for you to breathe again. December will filter your connections, bringing relief by removing unnecessary stress from your circle. Your physical body may even feel this shift as the stress that once lived in your muscles, heartbeat, and breath begins to release. May notice more energy, better sleep, or a sense of calm that feels new compared to the months before. The weight of worry you carried physically will start to lighten, and your body will respond to the peace entering your mind and spirit. December will give your entire being a reset, gently restoring the strength you lost during difficult seasons. You will also experience spiritual relief, where your connection to God feels clearer, closer, and more comforting. Prayers that once felt heavy or uncertain will start to flow naturally, and you will sense answers coming more quickly. Even in silence, you will feel peace instead of fear, confidence instead of doubt, and reassurance instead of confusion. December will renew your faith in ways that make you feel supported, protected, and guided, even when you don't have the full picture of what is coming next. The pressure to fix everything at once will begin to fade, and you will start to understand that some burdens were never yours to carry in the first place. You will learn to release control, to trust the timing, to rest instead of struggle. This surrender will bring a kind of relief that no human effort could ever give you. December will teach you that relief is not something you chase, it is something that enters your life when you finally let go and allow divine intervention to take its place. This month will quietly remind you that you are not alone, not abandoned, and not forgotten, because the relief you begin to feel will be the sign that God has stepped into situation you couldn't change on your own, lifting burdens you never thought would move, preparing you for a season where you walk lighter, breathe easier, and move forward with renewed strength. Expectation is the atmosphere where miracles grow, and December will challenge you to elevate your expectations beyond the limits of what you have seen this year. You may have gone through disappointments, delays, or frustrations, but expectation is the force that refuses to let your spirit sink. When you expect God to move, your heart opens, your faith rises, and your environment begins to align with the possibility of breakthrough. December will require you to rekindle that inner fire, to wake up each day believing that something good is already in motion for you. Something powerful is being prepared behind the scenes, and something meaningful is coming toward your life. Even if you cannot yet trace its direction, there will be a shift in how you speak about your future, because expectation influences your words, and your words influence your reality. When your expectations rise, your language changes from fear to hope, from doubt to confidence, from worry to declaration. You will find yourself speaking more positively, more boldly, and more intentionally, not because everything is currently perfect, but because you are preparing the atmosphere for what is about to unfold. December will make you more aware of how your words shape the spiritual climate around you, and you will feel the power that comes when your language aligns with your faith instead of your fears. You will notice a change in how you pray, because expectation transforms prayer from a desperate cry into a confident conversation. You will pray not as someone begging for help, but as someone who knows help is already on the way. The tone of your prayers will shift from uncertainty to assurance, from doubt to trust, from anxiety to gratitude. December will show you that expectation is not just believing God can do something, it is believing He's already doing something, and your spirit is aligning with it through prayer. Your actions will also shift, because expectation does not allow passivity, it pushes you to move, prepare, attempt, and take bold steps, even when you do not yet see the full path. You may find yourself applying for things you once feared, initiating conversations you avoided, taking steps you postponed, or making decisions you once felt unready for. This proactive movement will not come from pressure, but from a quiet inner confidence that December holds something significant. Expectation will energize you, making you ready for opportunities that could arrive at any moment. You will begin to see small signs that affirm your expectation, messages that arrive at the right time, unexpected encouragement from unlikely people, unexpected clarity in confusing areas, or slight shifts in circumstances that indicate something is changing. These small signs won't look dramatic at first, but they will feel meaningful, like gentle confirmations that you are aligning with a bigger plan. December will awaken your sensitivity to these subtle signals, training you to recognize the early stages of breakthrough. Before it fully manifests, your mindset will experience renewal as expectation starts shaping your attitude. You will feel more hopeful throughout the day, less fearful when things go wrong, and more resilient when challenges arise. Expectation turns obstacles into temporary delays instead of permanent roadblocks, and this will change how you process setbacks. You will begin to see difficulties not as signs of failure, but as signs that something greater is being prepared. December will stretch your mindset into a place of deeper faith, stronger confidence, and steadier peace relationship. Around you may also shift because expectation attracts the right people and repels the wrong ones. You will begin to notice who aligns with your growth and who dims your spirit. Expectation will make you more aware of voices that limit you and voices that push you forward. You might find new connections forming, old helpful relationships rekindling, or draining people naturally distancing themselves from your path. This alignment will not be forced. It will flow from the energy of your expectation, drawing what is meant for you. December season, your perspective on time will change as well, because expectation teaches you that God does not need months to change your situation. He can shift everything in a moment. December may cause you to reevaluate how you have viewed delays, realizing that the waiting was not wasted but was preparation. You will learn to see time not as an enemy, but as a container holding something valuable. This new understanding will allow you to relax, trust, and anticipate instead of fearing that time is running out. December will remind you that breakthroughs often arrive suddenly, even if preparation took months. Your emotional state will feel lighter as expectation grows, because hope lifts the heart in ways nothing else can. You may wake up with renewed energy, greater motivation, or a sense of excitement that wasn't there before. Fear and disappointment will begin to lose their grip, because expectation feeds your spirit with life and strength. Even on days where circumstances look unchanged, the expectation within you will give you the emotional stability to keep moving forward without collapsing into discouragement. December will feel different internally because expectation has shifted. The way you carry your emotions, and through all of this, your spirit will rise into a higher dimension of faith, where you no longer look at your circumstances with natural eyes, but with spiritual vision. Expectation will open your heart to possibilities you never considered, miracles you once thought were out of reach, and opportunities you once believed belonged only to others. You will feel a quiet but powerful assurance that December carries something for you, something tailored to your journey, something connected to prayers you whispered long ago, and this expectation will prepare you to receive it fully and confidently. Your December outcome will begin to shift the moment you choose to rise up in bold faith, refusing to let fear, doubt, or past disappointments dictate what you believe is possible. There is a power that awakens inside a person when they decide that their next chapter will not look like their last one, and December will pull that decision out of you. You will feel a stirring, a quiet strength, a determination that you cannot fully explain, reminding you that your life is not finished, your story is not over, and your breakthrough is not out of reach. The moment you embrace this inner shift, the atmosphere around you will begin to respond. You will sense a new level of courage forming within you, pushing you to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating momentum with whatever you have. Fear will no longer feel as loud, and doubt will no longer feel as convincing, because your spirit will rise above the noise. December will show you that courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move even when fear is present. Every brave step you take will become a seed planted for the miracles that are meant to grow in your life. That will be a change in your mindset as you choose to think from a place of possibility rather than limitation. You will begin to ask yourself what could happen instead of what might go wrong. You will start imagining better outcomes, healthier connections, stronger opportunities, and brighter days instead of rehearsing old disappointments. December will rewire your thought patterns, helping you break free from the mental prisons that kept you stuck in cycles you were meant to outgrow. Long ago, your confidence will rise as your mindset changes, and you will begin to walk with a sense of certainty that you didn't have before. You may not know exactly how everything will unfold, but you will feel grounded in the knowing that something good is preparing to show up in your life. December will give you a strength that makes you carry yourself differently, speak differently, and believe differently. This confidence will not be arrogance, it will be alignment with the truth that you were created for more than survival and struggle. You will feel a push to take action, because faith without movement keeps miracles waiting at the door. Something inside you will refuse to stay still, and you will find yourself reaching out, applying, trying, starting, building, and stepping into opportunities that once intimidated you. December will remove the heaviness that kept you stuck and replace it with an energy that inspires motion. Every action you take will become a signal to the universe that you are ready for the next level of your life, you may also feel drawn to speak differently, declaring things over your life that reflect where you are going instead of where you have been. You will begin to speak with authority, speak with assurance, and speak with expectation. Words you once whispered in fear will now be spoken in faith, because something inside you will know that your voice carries power. December will show you that declaration is a form of spiritual warfare, and every positive word you speak creates momentum. In the unseen realm, relationships around you will start shifting as your spirit rises. People who encourage your growth will be drawn closer, while those who drain you or limit you will naturally drift away. You will begin to recognize who matches your new level and who belongs to an older chapter. December will teach you the importance of surrounding yourself with those who feed your faith and not your fears. And as your circle shifts, your atmosphere will shift with it, making room for blessings that require peace, not chaos. Your habits will begin to transform because new seasons demand new disciplines. You will feel inspired to break patterns that kept you stagnant and adopt behaviors that support your progress. December will highlight the things you must release and the things you must strengthen. You will start making decisions with your future in mind instead of your comfort in mind. And every shift in your habits will add stability to the growth happening within you. You will also feel a renewed intimacy with your spiritual life, sensing guidance more clearly and responding to divine nudges more quickly. Your faith will feel alive, active and energized, as if something is breathing fresh life into it. December will awaken this closeness not through pressure, but through a gentle awareness that you are being led somewhere important. And the more you stay spiritually aligned, the more visible your breakthroughs will become. And through all of this, you will realize that the moment you decided to rise, things around you began to change, because your December breakthrough was never waiting on better conditions. It was waiting on a stronger, bolder, more awakened version of you who believes, acts, speaks and moves like someone who knows transformation is not only possible,